When a league MVP, two-time champion, and four-time scoring champ becomes available suddenly and unexpectedly, it tends to make ripples around the NBA and plenty of news on the first day of free agency. What a fascinating day. How many potential ripples are there in your part of the world in South Florida with this news from Kevin Durant?
The world is blowing up at the moment. It is crazy. I was actually talking to the Heat. They had their first summer league practice just now at San Francisco. And you could hear the players in the background like, oh, my God. As you guys know, this is something that reverberates throughout the league. And the one thing you know about Pat Riley, he gets his hand in everything. They've already been linked in previous years to Kyrie Irving. We know they went out to the Hamptons to try to recruit Kevin Durant. They've been involved there also. Other people might be saying right now the Heat don't have the pieces. The Heat don't buy that. The Heat's thought is if they can pair Jimmy Butler and Kevin Durant in any other combination, when you look at this Eastern Conference, they'll be right there. So I'm sure you guys might have explained right now they can't trade Bam Adebayo to Brooklyn as long as Ben Simmons is there because of the designated rookie 5-year extension. They're both under that. You can't get two players via trade that way. But there's so many ways this could go. Who knows? Maybe Ben Simmons comes with KD. So I would think that, honestly, anything short of Jimmy Butler, I think Pat Riley and Andy Ellisberg have all the permutations out there. They have 3 first-round picks at their disposal. And I don't mean this the wrong way, but Pat Riley is 77, and even when he was 67 and 57, he lived for the moment. So, yeah, I think Pat Riley would put aside draft picks, would have put aside the youth of Tyler Hero, maybe the promise you could save an Omer Yurtseven or Gabe Vincent or Max Strus. I think Pat would push every chip to the middle of the table, just like he keeps throwing those damn championship rings at us.
You had seen some weird things over the past couple of days, guys, when you saw the odds for DeAndre Ayton, his next team, going to the Brooklyn Nets. Like, I'm not a gambling guy, but sometimes someone knows something, right? And then you had started to hear that Kevin Durant was a little disenchanted with the Brooklyn Nets and how they've conducted themselves over the past year, whether it's the Kyrie Irving situation or how they've handled him. And you were starting to hear that he was going to be looking towards his next destination. The fact that he did it on the eve of free agency lets me know that he is very serious about this, because if you're a team that's interested, you're going to hold off on some of those maybe big money signings to see if maybe you can get involved in the Kevin Durant sweepstakes. And right now, the Phoenix Suns are at the top of his list.
Or maybe he just has a sense of humor and likes to see the world scramble when he makes a decision like that. Phoenix has been the team we're hearing that's being reported that's at the top of his list. What else makes sense to you in terms of a potential destination for Kevin Durant?
Well, if you look at his rationale, if his rationale is strong organization and stability, you can see why Phoenix is there. One, because of his relationship with Monty Williams, and on the floor, even though Chris Paul is aging, he still commands a certain amount of attention and respect on the floor, in addition to that team being a step away from possibly being back in the NBA Finals. When you look at the Miami Heat, organizational stability, Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra, it'll be a little tougher to make that deal work as a standalone. But if you're looking for organizational stability, I wonder if that is priority one for him. So that maybe you say Denver, maybe you say Dallas. When you look at some of the stars that they have, everybody's a Kevin Durant away from going to the NBA Finals, everybody except for the Brooklyn Nets.
Well, here's what I thought of. 3 years ago, almost to the day, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant sort of shocked everybody in basketball on that day that they were both going to the Nets, and people started penciling in championships for the Nets, and it just shows you just don't know for sure. We just don't know. I mean, I started thinking there was a movie years back, Charlie Wilson's War, and the one guy in the CIA, no matter what they said, he kept saying, we'll see. And that's how we should all be with all of these teams, because you don't know. Look, Sean Marks and Kenny Atkinson and the people in that organization, we were talking off air, they did everything right. You know, they developed players. Everything looked good. That's why Irving and Durant wanted to go there. And then everybody thought they were going to be great. And then they knew Durant had an injury for a year. Then they got Harden. And they were never able to get those guys on the floor. So now this year, the trade for Ben Simmons, he never ends up playing. I think Kevin Durant's probably looking at that situation and just saying, hey, I don't know what to expect here. I want to go somewhere where I feel like I've got a more committed group around me and have a better chance to win.
I think this boils down to just his entire tenure there at the Brooklyn Nets. If you look at the Nets infrastructure, over these past couple of years, they had 3 top 15 talent type players on that roster, and somehow, some way, managed to kind of fumble each and every one of them. And if you look at the way the James Harden situation played out, I reached out to Kevin Durant's agent, Rich Kleiman, and, he confirmed, the trade request, but he wouldn't get into any details. And so I had to kind of venture out. And just what I'm hearing is just that, there was just a lack of leadership within that organization, within that franchise. And just the culture wasn't right. And having covered Kevin Durant when I was a beat writer for the Warriors back in the day, this is a guy who really loves just to play basketball. He doesn't like all the drama. He likes there to be a nice, respectable infrastructure in place so he can go out there and do his job. And if you look at the Nets, just how they've handled things time and time after these last couple of years, it was not a respectable infrastructure. And I don't know the Kyrie Irving, I know that they're still friends, they're still tight, but Kevin Durant felt like it was just time to go. He wanted to be in a better situation. And sources informed me that Phoenix is at the top of his preferred trade list, as well as the Miami Heat. But I think we're looking down the road. I'm pretty sure we're going to talk about another big man that's a free agent, and we can talk about how that can possibly tie in and connect. If you look at all the prospects out there, for Kevin Durant, Miami Heat, if you look at what Phoenix has just a ton of players that they can throw into a deal to try to make this work. And also, I'm going to relay this. The Suns have known for a while. They've known for about up to a week, sources told me, that Kevin Durant had an eye for them. So this is not something that caught the Suns, and probably not even the Miami Heat, off guard today. This was something that's been brewing for a while over the past week. So they've been doing their diligence, I'm talking about the Suns, and trying to see what ways that they can present a respectable, suitable offer to entice the Brooklyn Nets. And so you look at DeAndre Ayton, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson. If you look at the Suns' draft picks, I believe they own their first-round draft picks for the next, I don't know the number, but it's like the next 6 or 8 years. So they have a lucrative package. Now, again, it's up to the Brooklyn Nets if they find out to be sufficient or not. But the Phoenix Suns, they put themselves in a good situation because they're still trying to contend for a title. And we knew the Suns were going to make some changes this summer as far as bringing in some improvements. This will definitely be a blockbuster.